Namaste, this is Mekhala here from poojas.in. So, this is my first live video, and you must be wondering what is this Mekhala has said when you lose someone dear? What kind of a topic is that? Well, what I want to say is, it's a very important phase of your life, or the other, you will lose someone very dear. And what do you need to do at that time? This is something that people often ask me. Basically, they ask me because they want some kind of comfort. They don't know how to go about it. They can't handle it because they feel somebody so integral and so much part of them is suddenly not there, and they're like, okay, I'm just going out of balance, and I just don't know what's happening. So then, some words of comfort and exchange happens because that is not the time really when you actually advise people on philosophy and things like that, because they are expecting some other kind of comfort. But I want to share this because I'm talking to you at a time where I've just recently lost one of my uncles who's very dear to me. And so I thought, okay, now if I can teach you what is practical spirituality, or what is being practical at this time, what is it that you need to do, then it may really help you all. So in this context, what I want to tell you is, see, when you lose someone dear, because it's very common that you lose somebody dear at some point of time. Say if your lifespan is around 80 years of age, then it's quite obvious that in this span of 80 years you would have lost a few dear people. So what is it that you need to do? One thing is the rituals, which I have spoken about in my Pitradosh video, where you have to do rituals to satisfy the souls, whom you lose. But apart from that, there are certain moral, social things that you need to do, emotional things that you need to do to keep yourself healthy mentally, and at the same time for also, like, the souls to be satisfied. Because what happens is, when a person dies, the person's soul is constantly wandering around the house or the places which it associates itself with, and this happens for about 10 days, 10 to 11 days, till you do all the rituals. Okay, so now during these 10 days is the mourning period where people usually cry a lot and they weep and they just don't do normal activities. And some Brahminical households, we don't even cook at home because we feel like we should not light the fire, simply because it's not safe, because we are emotionally down and we may ignore certain safety factors and we just end up cooking and things like that, and sari may get burned and things like that. This was the mentality people had in the earlier age. Now it's not that. So now things have changed, so it's much more convenient and a lot of things are there. But what I want to tell you is, to the point, these 10 days, try to remember, try to recall, and think what are those divine qualities that person who died had, and try to appreciate that. So not just the divine qualities, but also think, like, what good things did he or she do to you, how did they contribute to your growth in whatever way, even if it means just a smile. It's so wonderful, right? So just try to remember those things and share with each other. One red warning, one red signal is that never ever talk bad about the person those 10 days or 11 days. Actually, it's ideal that when a person dies, you never talk bad about the person. But people nowadays are like, it's not controllable at all. Bad mouthing people, talking ill, trying to remember all the bad things that has happened, the grudges and all. It's a very common thing now, and very insensitive way of dealing with it. So if that is the case, then I would say at least control yourself for 10 days and try to recall whatever good things the person has done, and just share it with each other. Talk amongst your family members. See, for example, when I said my talked about my uncle, I can recall some wonderful things about him. He was a bachelor, and he did one very good thing which even householders find it very difficult to do, which is like serving his mother. He served his mother till her last breath. So my grandmom was almost 92. Like, was she 92? 94. Yeah. So my cousin's prompting me. He says she was 94. So till then he served. He used to cook for her. He used to wash her clothes and things like that, because my granny was very pious and very very when it comes to cleanliness and purity, she wouldn't allow a maid servant or somebody to come and do it for her. So he would do it in a very sacred manner and very devoted way. So that is one thing that I can think of. The second thing is, I really appreciate his devotion, what he had for Shanishwar Bhagwan. Whenever we would discuss astrology, like I mentioned in some of my earlier videos, we belong to the Joyce family. Okay, so most of us have the inclination for astrology. We love the subject. Some of us are practicing astrology, and some of us don't, but we do have an interest in it. In that context, he was so fond of Shanishwar Bhagwan, and he would always tell, he would never say Shani. And whenever I would say Shani Dosh, he would say never use the word Shani Dosh, say Shanishwara, say Swami. So like that he would correct me, and we would do a lot of these astrology discussions, and during the time he would tell always speak with more and more reverence. So if you think you already have reverence, it's not enough. So just develop more of reverence. So Shanishwar Bhagwan is such a great planet, and he upholds dharma. So I can say that that is one thing that I learned from him. Another thing was he beautifully could connect what was happening in the Mahabharata with the planetary positions at that time. Like the Guru transit. What would the fifth Guru do to the Pandavas? What would the sixth Guru do to the Pandavas? Like that he would tell, at this time they went to the forest, at this time they came back, they got back the throne. Like that he was able to correlate with the Sanskrit shlokas, and it's brilliant the way he would do it. And it's not like he would refer a book and just read it out. He would walking as he was walking, he would talk and tell me these things, and I was very interested to learn all that from him. So that way, I can recall another this wonderful attribute. I think I've already told you three: serving the mother. Second thing was astrology as a passion, and how correlating the transits of the planets to the Mahabharata. And the third thing is his immense reverence for Shanishwar Bhagwan. So I have seen people who've got reverence for Vishnu, for Shiva. In Vishnu, I can say like Tirupati Balaji, a lot of them have, and Kashi Vishwanath, a lot of them have devotion, and even Krishna Bhagwan, they have a lot of people have a lot of devotion. But somebody for a planet, it's very rare, and so much dedication that he even ended up working in Shani Temple. Even he was doing seva, like he would assist the priests there and do seva because of his love for Shanishwara Bhagwan. Like, so I feel like he really made good use of his lifespan, and used his breath for something very meaningful and what really meant dear to him. So this is just an example of how I'm saying, like, you could also start thinking about people whom you have lost, somebody really dear, and what are the good things about them. Then if you actually start thinking, I am so sure that you'll find a lot of attributes, and then you'll have good memories to cherish and no bitterness at all in your heart. So by dedicating this video, I'd like to dedicate this video to him, and also I really pray that his soul gets mukti. So he should rest in peace, and he should always be blissful, and that is exactly what my prayer is. But I am also telling you that please pray for all the souls who departed. Don't be very emotionally attached to them, but pray to them sincerely. One prayer is good enough, and it will really help them reach the lotus feet of the divine. So this is my first video, and on YouTube as live, and I really hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you got some good insights, and don't forget to practice this. And the reason why I'm shooting this video right now is because I know when you're really sad, when you're down, when you've lost somebody, it's not easy to assimilate this truth because you'll have a lot of emotions clogging your mind, your heart, and your brain. So now you accept this, absorb this information, think about it, and leave it. It will be there in you. When the right time comes, when you really need it, it will just come out, and then you'll be able to emote that way. Thank you for watching. Namaste. Hey.